In the 90s, the average salary was about $25,000. A decent house cost $120,000. Gas? Just over $1 a gallon. You could pay your mortgage, fill your tank, and still catch a Friday night movie. Life wasn't perfect, but it felt possible. Nothing screamed 90s louder than dial-up internet. That screeched through the phone line, praying no one picked up the handset. 20 minutes later, a single JPG crawled across the screen. AOL chat rooms felt like outer space until your mom yelled, "Dinner's ready." Cars were simple. You either drove a Ford Taurus, a Honda Accord, or a Toyota Camry. Not flashy, but they ran forever. And if you needed bigger, a Ford F-Series or Chevy pickup ruled the driveway. No screens, no sensors, just a key, a cassette deck, and endless miles ahead. Then came Titanic. 3 hours of tears and Celine Dion on loop. People saw it twice, or 7 times, just to watch that ship sink again. Thursday night was sacred. You grabbed chili dip, sat down, and the whole country laughed together when Chandler cracked the one-liner. Windows 95 felt like the future. Installing it meant 13 floppy disks and a prayer. But once done, you played solitaire until 2 a.m. Clicking that bouncing card waterfall never got old. June 17, 1994. O.J. Simpson's white Bronco chase stopped the entire nation. NBA Finals shrank into a picture-in-picture box. Pizza delivery boomed. Court TV became America's new soap opera. Y2K felt like the sky was falling. People stocked water, printed bank statements, and wondered if microwaves would rebel at midnight. But when the clock hit January 1st, 2000, nothing happened. We cheered, popped cheap champagne, and blamed it all on bad code. And in school cafeterias, Capri Sun pouches were hydration and war. One perfect stab with the straw was victory. A missed shot meant juice explosion. You drank half, flattened it, and launched it like a frisbee across the lunchroom. You called radio stations to request songs. Then you waited and waited. 2 hours later, your song finally played. Didn't matter because it was your victory. Before we dive deeper into these memories, make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss more blasts from the past. If they said your name on air, you floated for a week. Burning a CD felt like magic. You made playlists called Road Trip, carefully choosing 18 tracks that told your entire personality. Halfway through, the burn failed. You started over. Still worth it. Pokémon cards turned recess into Wall Street. Holographic Charizard was the crown jewel. Kids traded, battled, and cried when Mom washed a perfect deck in the jeans pocket. Gotta catch 'em all wasn't a slogan. It was a mission. Laser tag parties were elite. You strapped on a bulky vest, grabbed a plastic blaster, and ran through dark, foggy rooms like an action movie. Half the equipment didn't work. Someone always cheated. But when your vest lit up with a bullseye, you felt like a legend. Then Jurassic Park hit theaters. T-Rex roared in surround sound. The water glass trembled. Dinosaurs looked real enough to bite. Kids left convinced. A velociraptor was hiding behind the fridge. Discman problems. It skipped if you breathed too hard. You held it flat like a serving tray, prayed anti-shock worked, and carried a zip book of burned CDs called Road Mix 99. Batteries drained faster than you could say, hit repeat. Jordan's Bulls owned the decade. 6 rings, tongue out, fadeaway jumper. You begged for Air Jordans, lowered the driveway hoop, and yelled, "He's on fire," like NBA Jam. Even Grandma knew what a three-peat was. Napster made music feel free, maybe too free. You queued Metallic MP3s overnight, prayed the download didn't stall at 98%, and felt like a pirate king with a 64-megabyte treasure chest. Record labels freaked out. Kids just shrugged and hit share again. Home Alone turned paint cans into security systems. Kevin outsmarted the wet bandits. Every kid rigged their house with Hot Wheels and Micro Machines. Pizza delivery meant quoting, "Keep the change, ya filthy animal," through the mail slot. Pagers beeped like status symbols. Doctors had them first. Then teens. 911 meant urgent. 143 meant love. You ran to the nearest payphone, fed quarters, and pretended you were in a spy movie. People waved on planes. You watched loved ones walk the tarmac, waving from the steps like in a movie. Airports weren't fortresses. You could walk to the gate, hug goodbye, and actually watch the plane take off. Calendars weren't just planners. They came with kittens, Corvettes, or Garfield. You picked a personality, not a schedule. Birthdays in pen, holidays in marker, and stickers from the back pages. That thing lived on the fridge all year like a family member. Tamagotchis taught kids about life and death. You fed a digital blob, cleaned its pixel poop, and panicked when it beeped in math class. Forget to check it for 6 hours? Tiny tombstone. You cried, restarted, and promised to be a better parent. Jerry Springer turned daytime TV into a cage match. Chairs flew. Security guards flexed. The crowd chanted, "Jerry, Jerry." You pretended it was trash, but you still watched cousin dating scandals while eating SpaghettiOs straight from the can. Crystal Pepsi looked like science fiction. Clear cola felt edgy, tasted cola-ish, and vanished faster than slap bracelets. You bought one, snapped a photo, and kept the bottle as proof that clear soda once existed. Starter jackets made you a walking billboard. Sports logos everywhere. And everyone wanted one. Bulls, Cowboys, Raiders. Bright satin jackets with kangaroo pouches, big enough to smuggle a puppy. You wore it in July because style beat body temperature. If yours had the NBA zipper, instant street cred. Super Soaker 50 ruled backyard battles. Pump 10 times. Feel the tank swell. Unleash a river on your unsuspecting brother. Sheep squirt guns died in shame. Neon Super Soakers reigned supreme. Cheat codes were currency. Up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start. Not just a pattern survival. You traded codes at recess like crides. Unlocking hidden levels and Tony Hawk. Legendary status. Dotcom commercials ran during the Super Bowl. Pets.com sock puppets. Startups with no profit. Confetti-fueled IPOs. Everyone talks stock options at BBQs. Then the bubble burst. Back to real jobs. JNCO jeans could smuggle a sleeping bag. Legs wider than driveways. Chain wallet clanking like dungeon gear. Pockets deep enough to lose a textbook. Moms hated them. Skaters worshipped them. Stairs were dangerous. Furbies haunted toy shelves. Big eyes, eerie giggle, constant chatter. Parents removed the batteries, and Furby kept talking. You loved it, or buried it in the closet with the Ouija board. Every store had gumball machine armies. Bouncy balls, mystery slime, plastic rings. 1 quarter could change your whole afternoon. Worst part? The blue gumball always stuck in the back, and you never got it. Pay at the pump felt futuristic. Slide a card. Choose regular unleaded. Never talk to a cashier. You missed the free windshield wipe, but saving 5 minutes on a road trip felt like winning the lottery. Rollerblades replaced bikes for a hot minute. Neon wheels, ace of base on the Walkman. Every cul-de-sac felt like the 10th games. Knee pads optional. Elbow scabs guaranteed. The iMac came in candy colors. Blueberry. Tangerine. Lime. You dragged it home by the handle, clicked that round mouse, and surfed the web in style. Computers weren't beige anymore. They were bubblegum. Mixtapes were made with love and a pencil. Every tape had a theme: breakup songs, summer jams, hidden confessions. When the tape jammed, you rewound it with a pencil like a surgeon. Play, pause, record, half music, half diary. TV commercials attacked at full volume. Calm show then. But wait, there's more. The volume always jumped. You didn't mute it. You yelled at it. Everyone tried to surf the web. Clicked links like magic portals. Waited 3 minutes for a photo to load. The homepage was Yahoo. The internet felt like one giant mystery box. Every TV had a built-in hum. That faint buzzing in the background. You didn't notice it then, but if you hear it now. Instant time travel. McDonald's had pizza. Yes, pizza. Came in a box, cafeteria taste. Nobody agrees if it was good or terrible. But everyone remembers trying it once. Some still swear it was amazing. Beanie Babies turned grown-ups into treasure hunters. Tiny plush toys with heart-shaped pegs. Flipped like stocks. People camped outside Hallmark. Guarded Princess the Bear like gold, and believed college tuition lived inside a stuffed penguin. Spoiler, it didn't. Still fun, though. Your bedroom walls were chaos. Posters of Nirvana, Britney, Jordan, or The Rock. Glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. No fear. Lisa Frank. Your personality wasn't a vibe. It was a floor-to-ceiling collage of adolescence. Remote controls got their own caddy. A basket in the living room just for TV, VCR, and cable remotes. Lose the wrong one? You were doomed. Dad had a system. Don't mess with the system. Got milk ads were everywhere. Athletes, aliens, celebrities. Everyone had a milk mustache. You didn't drink more milk. But you definitely posed with a glass, scowling like Shaq. Soda caps were lottery tickets. Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper. Please try again. 99 times. But that 100th free drink? You walked out like a millionaire. You rented tuxes from the strip mall. Homecoming, prom, weddings. One ill-fitting tux, shiny shoes, and a corsage in the fridge. You prayed it didn't rain. And that no one stepped on your pants all night. And the Weather Channel? It had a soundtrack. Smooth jazz played while radar loops danced on screen. Your dad left it on for hours. By age 10, you knew a cold front from a squall line. By age 12, you secretly loved it too. One cabinet was stuffed with takeout menus. Pizza, Chinese, crumpled paper stacked by the phone. You knew which had the free soda coupon, and which lied about delivery times. No apps, no online orders. Just grease-stained menus and a landline. America Online gave you 1,000 free hours. CDs arrived in the mail, in magazines, even in cereal boxes. You had enough hours for a lifetime, but still just used AIM and played checkers with strangers. School book fairs were pure happiness. Rolling metal shelves of Goosebumps, Animorphs, Spy Gear, and weird erasers. $5 from your parents felt like billionaire money. Peak childhood. The family calendar lived on the fridge. Dry erase or magnetic. Birthdays, dentist visits, sports practice. If your name wasn't on it, you had no permission. The fridge was mission control, calendar, to-do list, and proud report cards all in one. Every class had an overhead projector, plastic sheets, dry erase markers, and a machine that hummed like a lawnmower. If the teacher forgot to clean it, last week's math haunted you all over again. Shopping malls were whole ecosystems. You got lost between Radio Shack and KB Toys, followed the smell of pretzels, and sat on cold benches while your mom just ran into Sears real quick. Lunchables were culinary freedom. DIY pizza with plastic cheese. Turkey stacks taller than sandwiches should be. Elementary school luxury in a yellow box. Milk came in paper triangle cartons. Pinch it wrong instant milk geyser. Pinch it right still fridge flavored. But on Pizza Fridays, no complaints. TV static meant no signal, just snow and buzzing. You flipped through 72 channels of fuzz, until finally The Simpsons. Victory. Answering machines held your fate. A little red light blinked. Some calls were important. Some were crank calls. If your crush left a message, you played it twice, and panicked your parents heard it too. Malls had fountains full of wishes. Pennies, dolphins, sculptures, chlorine mixed with pretzels. If your mall had no fountain, it wasn't a real mall, just a hallway with stores. Infomercials made you believe anything. Shoes sliced by knives, Coke wear. 12 oranges juiced in 6 seconds. At 2A, you needed a miracle mop. Screensavers were art. Flying toasters, 3D mazes, bouncing DVD logos. You decorated desktops like galleries. Some people never turned them off. Library cards were passports. That little paper slip with a barcode meant adventure. You checked out 7 books, lost 3, and begged parents to cover late fees. MapQuest meant 5 pages of directions. One wrong turn? Too bad. Argue. Backtrack 10 miles. Swear this road wasn't here last time. But somehow you made it. Scrambled cable was an art. Every kid squinted at forbidden channels. You swore you saw a frame of something, then bragged about it like you won the lottery. Gas station coffee was black sludge. No foam, no flavors, no oat milk. Just a stained pot since 6 a.m. you poured it into styrofoam and powered through. Every remote had a recall button. Your show, your parents' show. If they walked in, clicked back to PBS, the original tab switch. Chain wallets were cool until they weren't. Metal chain, Velcro flap, $20 inside. Every teen clipped one on like a biker. Then one day gone. The cool kid had a Discman. The rest of us? Cassette Walkmans with rewinding headaches. If someone had anti-skip and a visor CD case, they were royalty. And yes, the headphones were always broken on one side. Somebody had a waterbed. It sounded futuristic. Then you slept on one. Sloshy, cold, and just weird. Still, it felt like luxury. Like something rich uncles owned. Supermarket tabloids ruled checkout aisles. Aliens had my baby. Bat Boy escapes again. You never believe them, but you still read every word. Recess meant tetherball battles. Sun, dust, rope burn, victory. 1 pole, 1 rope. 2 kids. Trying to smack the ball into orbit. Your hand turned red. Rules changed every match. Someone always walked away mad. Brutal. And the best part of the day? Fast food came with real toys and real hype. Tiny Barbies. Transformer knockoffs. Muppet babies. Cars. The meal didn't matter. It was all about the box. Limited time only. You begged to go 3 days in a row. That plastic toy hijacked dinner plans for a week. Vending machines were battles. If candy got stuck, you shook, slammed, and kicked. When the Snickers finally dropped treasure. And if 2 fell, you didn't tell a soul. Crayola made scented markers. Cherry, lemon, licorice. Every kid had a favorite. The black one smelled like death. You sniffed it anyway. Teachers pretended not to notice. Childhood fragranced. TV had real cliffhangers. Who shot Mr. Burns? Did Ross say Rachel's name at the altar? You waited months, not hours. Missed the premiere? Too bad. No streaming. Just pain. Blockbuster was church. Friday night. Blue carpet. Popcorn smell. You prayed your movie wasn't rented out. If it was? Plan B if you got the last copy? Pure glory. You were chosen. Dollar stores were weird gold. Off-brand candy. Knock-off toys. Exploding pens. You still left with a bag full of treasure. Stretchy skeletons. Magic Grow capsules. Didn't matter if it was good. It was $1. Everyone knew a friend with a satellite dish. Not the small kind, the giant backyard UFO. 500 channels. Maybe a few from outer space. You went to their house for wrestling and cartoons no one else had. Public pools smelled like summer. And chlorine. You ran on slippery cement. Got yelled at by the lifeguard. Begged for a popsicle on the way home. Your skin smelled like sunscreen. Your towel always had one weird leaf stuck in it. Slamming the phone was therapy. You didn't just hang up. You ended it. The receiver hit the cradle like thunder. If someone pissed you off, the whole room knew it. Try doing that with a touch screen. Not the same. Not even close. Everyone had a towel you couldn't use. Decorative. Embroidered. Perfectly placed. Guests could use it. You? Never. Mom lost her mind if you touched it. A towel for looking, not for drying. Life ran on quarters. Laundry, payphones, vending machines. You kept a stash in the car. A pile in your coat pocket. Maybe a film canister full. If someone asked to borrow one, you did mental math. Could you still do laundry and get a soda? It was strategic. Home phones had ringer switches. Nobody touched them. Phones weren't silent. If it rang, you answered. Period. If the switch got flipped, you missed 3 calls. And someone showed up at your door to check if you were alive. Every VCR blinked 12 o'clock forever. That green glow in every living room. Nobody said it. You pressed random buttons, gave up, and threw a dish towel over it. Power outage? Back to blinking. Default state of the 90s. Family camcorders were the size of shoeboxes. Dad carried it like a bazooka. Birthdays, graduations, school plays, all captured in shaky footage with muffled audio. Batteries lasted 10 minutes. Tapes ran out at the worst time, but it was magic anyway. Every kid tried to copy the cool S. Nobody knew where it came from. 6 lines, connect the dots, instant masterpiece. Add 3D shading. You were basically an artist. Fridges were covered in clip magnets and coupons. Pizza deals. Dentist reminders. A dry cleaning tag from '93. Magnets from plumbers, pizza shops, and that one realtor with the mustache. If it stuck, it stayed. Milk carton kids haunted your breakfast. You ate cereal while staring at missing children on the side. Sad, scared, curious. You hoped your face never ended up there. Then you flipped it around to read the fun facts. TVs were furniture. Big wooden frames, fake drawers. Heavier than a washing machine. Drop something behind it? Gone forever. It wasn't just a screen. It was the centerpiece of the room. An altar for sitcom worship. Your locker was your first apartment. Mirrors, magnets, mini whiteboards. Cut-out photos from teen people. Some even had shelves or carpet. It held your books, your secrets, and a granola bar from last semester. Dial-up taught patience. You clicked connect. Heard the screeching modem. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes it didn't. If your sibling picked up the phone, connection gone. Finally, online 10 minutes later, Mom said, "I need the phone." And that was it. Every kid had a drawer full of batteries. You dug through remotes and leaky flashlights just to power your Game Boy. Some worked. Some didn't. You spun them, switched ends, slapped them on your palm, hoping for one more life in Tetris. Everyone knew a neighbor with a trampoline. The yard was a mess. But that trampoline? Glorious. You flipped, bounced, ignored the one at a time rule. If you didn't fall off once, you weren't doing it right. Plastic-covered grandma's couch. It crinkled when you sat. Stuck to your legs in summer. But it stayed brand new forever. Shrink-wrapped memories. Not comfortable, but sacred. That couch belonged in a museum. Pizza Hut was an event. Checkerboard tables. Stained glass lights. Red plastic cups. You read books just to earn a free pizza. That little certificate meant you were a scholar with good taste. School desks were carved in layers. Becca plus James 92 scratched in deep. You added your initials too. Without knowing it, you joined the Hall of Fame. Gel pens smelled like fruit. Strawberry pink, blueberry blue, lime green. Your notes looked like a candy aisle. The ink smeared instantly, dried up in 2 weeks. But for a short time, your math homework smelled amazing. TV antennas had tin foil. Signal fuzzy? Wrap the rabbit ears. Twist just right, boom, clear picture. Did it actually work? No one knew. But Dad swore by it. Every grocery store had a coin-operated horse. Cost a quarter, lasted 30 seconds, rocked like a broken washing machine. If your parents said yes, you were a cowboy by the frozen peas. Feet barely in the stirrups, still in charge. The computer lab felt like the future. Rows of beige monitors, green glowing screens, floppy disks you weren't supposed to bend. You played Oregon Trail, tried to avoid dying of dysentery, and printed reports on noisy dot matrix printers. Home videos were productions. Dad hauled out a camcorder the size of a toaster oven. You were told to act natural, which meant you froze like a deer. Birthdays, school plays. One time, someone fell off a swing. All immortalized on tapes that nobody ever labeled. The world felt slower. In a good way. You didn't check your phone every 10 seconds. You didn't rush through dinner. You sat. You talked. You let moments linger. Sure, everything took longer. But that gave it weight. Life didn't fly by. You actually lived it. To step back into the 1980s. Just watch the video now on your screen. Thank you so much for watching.